What is it like to be you? It's a simple question, but for someone who can't speak, perhaps after a stroke, or because of a lifelong condition, it's a question that can feel impossible to answer. The most vivid thoughts, memories, and dreams remain locked inside, silent. But what if we could build a key? Not a mind reader that invades privacy, but a gentle translator, a bridge from the silent world of pure thought to the shared world of words and pictures. Welcome to Boson Buzz. I'm Monty Molecule, and today we're exploring a new frontier in communication. We're unlocking the silent symphony of the brain to meet, the mind's eye reader. Imagine the profound isolation of being unable to speak. A person is awake, aware, and full of ideas, but the connection between those thoughts and the muscles needed to form words is broken. It's like having a perfect high-definition movie playing in a theater with no sound system and the doors locked from the outside. They can point to letters on a board, but it's agonizingly slow, maybe a few words a minute. The frustration is a wall. For decades, this wall seemed unbreakable. We could see where the brain was active with scans, but we couldn't decode the content of that activity. It was like seeing a light bulb turn on in a distant city and trying to guess what book someone is reading by its glow. The signal was too messy, the code too complex. The new solution doesn't try to force the brain to use old pathways. Instead, it learns the brain's unique language. It's a silent translator, and its core tool is an analogy we can all understand. Predictive text for your mind. Imagine you're typing on a phone. You start with, "I would like a cup of," and your phone suggests coffee, tea, or water. It's not reading your mind. It's learning patterns from millions of sentences. The mind's eye reader does something similar, but its dictionary is written in the electrical language of your brain. Here's how it works. It begins with a simple, non-invasive step. A person wears a cap studded with sensitive sensors that listen to the brain's electrical chatter, an advanced form of EEG. It's like putting a stethoscope on the surface of the skull to hear the hum of activity inside. At first, the signal is just noise. Then, the training begins. On a screen, they watch a series of simple, clear images flash by. A red apple, a smiling face, a running dog, a shining sun. Each time an image appears, a unique pattern of electrical fireworks goes off in the visual cortex, the part of the brain that processes sight. The system watches and learns. It starts to connect the dot. This specific spark pattern means apple. That cluster of signals means dog. It's building a basic picture dictionary. But thoughts aren't just pictures from a screen. The real magic happens next. The person is asked to imagine the apple, to picture it in their mind's eye. The brain, wonderfully, lights up in a very similar way. It's not an identical signal, but it's a close cousin. The system, having learned the sight signature, now learns the imagination signature. It's learning to read the internal movie, not just the external one. Now comes the vocabulary expansion. Instead of pictures, words are used. The system shows the word happy, and with the person's help, learns the brain pattern associated with that concept. Then sad, then home, then music. Bit by bit, the system builds a lexicon of brain patterns for dozens, then hundreds of core ideas and objects. The final step is assembly. The person now thinks deliberately of a sequence of concepts. They focus on the brain pattern for I, then want, then water. The system detects these three distinct patterns in rapid succession. Using its predictive model, its understanding of how words fit together, it assembles the most likely sentence, "I want water." And on a screen, or through a speaker, those words appear. It's not mind reading. The person is consciously choosing each concept, one by one, like selecting tiles in a game of Scrabble. The system is just an incredibly fast and accurate tile recognizer and sentence builder. The speed is revolutionary, from a few words a minute with a letterboard to perhaps 10 or 20 words a minute with pure thought. The wall of silence begins to crack. Let's see what this looks like in a real scenario. A person is sitting with a loved one. They think, in sequence, thank you for being here. The system translates each conceptual burst into text, which is then spoken aloud by a warm, synthetic voice. For the first time in years, they can express a complex, heartfelt sentiment without exhausting struggle. The emotional impact is immeasurable, but why stop at prefabricated concepts? The next evolution is already being explored. Researchers are training systems on the brain signals generated when a person listens to spoken stories for hours. The AI isn't just learning words, it's learning how brain activity maps to the building blocks of speech, the sounds, the rhythms, the grammar. The goal is to predict, from brain activity alone, the full sentence a person is intending to say, even if they've never trained on that specific sentence before. It's moving from a conceptual dictionary to a true language model of the brain. The potential of this silent translation extends far beyond restoring speech. Imagine a designer sitting before a blank screen, imagining a wild new shape for a car or a building. The mind's eye reader, trained on visual concepts, could translate that mental sketch into a rough 3D model almost instantly, capturing the spark of creativity before it fades. Think of a composer, hearing a complex symphony in their imagination. By learning the brain patterns associated with pitch, rhythm, and instrumentation, a system could transcribe those imagined melodies into sheet music. We could capture the songs people hear only in their dreams. It could even help us understand the most private of experiences. What does a migraine look like in the brain's language before the pain hits? What is the neural signature of an intrusive, anxious thought? By giving people a way to show us these states as they experience them, we could develop better, more personalized treatments. This technology is, of course, a bridge we must cross with great care. It is not for eavesdropping, but for listening when someone desperately wants to be heard. Its power is not in reading random thoughts, but in providing a clear, chosen channel for thoughts that otherwise have no way out. The mind's eye reader transforms the most personal space, our inner thoughts, into a place we can choose to connect from. It's not a psychic hack. It's a painstakingly built bridge of light and electricity. If unlocking the language of thought inspires you, please like and subscribe to Boson Buzz. Until next time, have a safe and curious week.